Right. We all saw the new episode 5 of season 8. And so, yeah, let's go through it. Let's go through what went wrong. I think it's pretty obvious what went wrong. As soon as Daenerys started killing everybody, it's, it's pretty funny actually how bad they've done the show, now. They've really done it dirty. Daenerys is now, for no reason, she just snaps. She just goes, yeah, I don't care if they ring the bell. Tyrion says at the start, if they ring the bell, please stop. And then they have that moment where the Unsullied and I don't know who else is with the Unsullied. The guys with Jon, basically. The guys fighting for Daenerys, basically. I think the Northerners and Unsullied, where you get the Dothraki coming into King's Landing as well, just chopping people down, bam, bam, bam. And then after that, they have a moment where they just sort of look at each other, and then it's like, okay, well, what's happening here? And then the Lannister fighters just put their swords down and surrender, basically. And then eventually you get the ringing the bell. Tyrion is just there watching everything. He's just like, oh, what? She's gonna burn everyone. She's gonna kill everybody. Yes, basically, because the show doesn't make any sense anymore. Okay, what would have made sense is if she just burned the Red Keep. Who killed her friend? Who helped killed one of her dragons? Who killed Rhaegar? It was Euron, and so she should be going to kill Cersei. And she's the one that. But even if she surrendered, okay, if they'd surrendered, you could almost forgive them for burning down the Red Keep, even if they surrendered. It wouldn't be honorable in any way. Honor doesn't seem to matter in this case. Honor doesn't seem to matter. Jon is the only one with any honor, apparently, and his honor isn't very good because his objection to ruling is so strong that now he doesn't even care if they kill Varys at the start. The way they kill Varys is stupid. It's stupid for multiple reasons, because why would Varys be... If you wanted Jon to rule, would he say it out loud to Tyrion in a conversation, then letting Tyrion rat him out, basically, to Daenerys, and then have one of his little birds try and poison her, basically? That's what they were getting at. And, he's just sitting there, Varys is just sitting there waiting for them to come take him away and kill him, basically, because Varys, the idea of Varys plotting against Daenerys, if he thinks she's not the true ruler or whatever, is fine, because Varys changes who he supports, and that's fine. But if he really supported Jon here, would he do it in this fashion? He would do it in a much more smart way. He's a very clever character. This is what they've been doing. They've been changing all the characters, making them completely nonsensical. Nothing makes sense anymore in Game of Thrones world. The characters don't make rational decisions. Tyrion hasn't made any sensible decisions for the past 2-3 seasons. He doesn't make any sense what he wants to do now. So yeah, and then Tyrion would just straight up rat him out, but maybe it's because he's scared of Daenerys, so that's why. And then the Golden Company just being outside of the city walls, where they just get obliterated from behind with fire. Like, why are they standing outside of the walls anyway, where they can basically be destroyed. And then yeah, from that point you just get the Daenerys army, Jon and everyone just running into the city. And then yeah, the problem with the scene once they all surrender, and then okay, obviously you got the problem of Daenerys killing everybody, but also the Unsullied and our army just immediately are all in with it, apart from Jon. Unless someone was coming to basically kill him, he wouldn't do anything. He even kills one guy who's about to try and have his way with the woman, which is commendable. But they've turned Jon into such a bystander at this point. It's like he's powerless to stop everyone. He's trying to tell them, stop, stop, stop. And it's like, come on, we gotta retreat or else we're gonna even get burned now. But that's how ridiculous it gets. So Daenerys, she goes from like being a little bit angry or maybe not even angry at all to or crazy even, to like 1,000,000% crazy, 100%, 110% overboard, straight away from 0 to 50 in like half a second, She goes full crazy, wanting to kill everybody. She forgot about Cersei. And apparently the rules of the logic of the last episode don't make any sense. Episode to episode, they haven't been consistent. It's like they set a precedent that dragons could be killed quite easily. But apparently in this one, they couldn't even get near the dragon. The dragon was much faster. The dragon was almost impossible to even get near. Yeah, she wasn't flying the dragon, and you could say, oh, well, she learned. But maybe the idea the last episode it was so easy to kill a dragon was stupid, which I agree it was. But then can you completely change the whole logic that now it's super difficult where there's only one dragon now to kill and it's really impossible? It's like the dragon's moving a lot and they're trying like with the trebuchet or whatever it is, the thing firing the big arrows, spiky things. I can't remember what they called them exactly. Doesn't matter. That part. So the whole episode, they seem to waste a lot of time on stupid things like, why was Jaime fighting Euron? What was the point of that? There was like no... Why do they hate each other? Because Euron had sex with Cersei? It's like, who the hell cares? Supposedly Jaime here has had his way with Brienne. It's like, that didn't make any sense either if he's just gonna go back to Cersei. Why did they even have that story in there that he loves Brienne? Oh, but wait, oh no, he doesn't. He just goes back to his sister. He goes back to his old ways, his whole redemption thing. Not to make it... It kind of works because they made... This is how bad they made it. They made Cersei, who was one of the most unlikable characters, now... You felt more sympathy for her than for Daenerys or Jon, even Jon, other than Arya. You feel obviously Arya is the most important. She is a point of view character in the books, but she's not a main point of view character like Jon or Daenerys, or Tyrion. Whereas you didn't really even get a lot from Daenerys. All you saw was the dragons flying around destroying everything. Once that started, it was about everyone else's point of view. And yeah, I can kind of understand it not being Daenerys, but he even eventually stopped being about Jon, and he was just watching everything get destroyed. And basically everyone was just watching everything get destroyed and the chaos of it. And the problem with this is now it leaves the point that Daenerys' whole journey has been for what? Just to become a monster. In one season, she goes from wanting to do what's right, but also be a little bit brutal. She doesn't want to be brutal, but she wants to be tough, but fair, you know. And yeah, she helped, you know, the slaves and everything in Slavers Bay. She helped stop all that stuff, and then she complains about people not liking her. Why would she then go burn the whole city and the civilians? Yeah, burn the Red Keep. That was enough. That makes it bad enough a little bit. It makes her have a little internal conflict where it's like, am I good or am I bad? And it's kind of like, then should be like in a grey area, but she would have enough reason to burn the Red Keep if Cersei refuses to surrender. But then they give the surrender, and then she still not only burns the Red Keep, but the whole city and killing lots of civilians. Well, we'll see in the next episode. There'll still be half the town will still be alive, or like 90% of King's Landing was fine. And apparently the Dragonfire was so much more powerful now. Like in the last one, I can't remember it doing so much damage, and everyone firing it, the dragon was so much slower. That's fine, but you've got to keep it consistent. You can't have one episode, it's so easy to kill a dragon, and then now you only have one dragon, and then it's like an impossible task. Everyone gets roasted instantly in Dragonfire, engulfed in Dragonfire as soon as that happens. So, yeah. Then you get the Hound and his brother fighting, which the scene, it looked nice when they're fighting and everything's falling apart. It's like that's all it was. It wasn't, the substance wasn't really there. It's like the Hound doesn't really play an important role anymore. And his brother's just like this dead monster. It's like their deaths don't really mean anything. The Jaime and Cersei thing is fine. It's like that's the end. That she's like, they make her sympathetic in the end. It's like, I can understand them doing that a little bit because it's like changes things, but it was such a pathetic, it was a little bit pathetic an ending for her. And confusing, like why are they trying to make us so likable in that moment, but at the same time making Daenerys everyone's favorite. I admit you've got to make her a little bit less likable by burning down the Red Keep, and maybe she kill some civilians by accident, but going full out Mad King, Mad Queen for this, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense for a character. Say, imagine they just killed one of the dragons, or maybe you could have saved two of the dragons, and then when she goes to King's Landing, they killed two of them or something. Then it would have maybe made sense. But yeah, I mean, the real ending could actually have that, where she ends up burning some of the city down, but the whole city down. It's not believable. She doesn't want to be a bad ruler. She wants to be liked by people. She's not just gonna snap and go full Mad King, Mad Queen on us like that. And then is the army really gonna snap as well at the same time? They don't really need any excuse to start raping and just killing innocent civilians, you know? They'll just start doing it for a laugh. You know, they don't care. They haven't done this at any other point. But suddenly they're in King's Landing, it's like, fuck it, let's just go wild, lads. Let's just kill everybody and have nothing left. So we're gonna be ruling over a kingdom of basically no one at this point, because they've written off pretty much all of the characters who isn't Arya, Sansa, Bran, who isn't like a main character, you know? It's just further character assassination. They've literally hollowed and shelled out a lot of these characters, and it's like they're almost dead, even though they're not dead yet. The ones that aren't dead, their character story have been murdered, basically. John's character as a bystander. Tyrion the same, basically bystander. Bystander. They all both basically watching everything happen, and their decisions and the way they act and everything has been so weird, except from the point of Jon being a moral thing, which is the only somewhat believable good part. But then even then he had no authority to stop people just killing everyone in this episode. So they really, what's the last episode going to be? Arya or Jon killing Daenerys or something, and then it's going to be some random person ruling the kingdom. If after all that it's Jon ruling, I don't know what the point in that is. What is the point in that? Is the point that he's not going to then go crazy and kill everyone? He could have done that even if she just burned the Red Keep and didn't kill everyone, Maybe she killed some by accident by burning down the Red Keep, so the Red Keep fell on like a lot of civilians or something. And then she feels really bad for it. She felt really bad when one of the dragons killed a kid in Essos, I can't remember where it was, but I remember seeing something about that today. Although I remember it anyway, but she chained the dragons up because one of them potentially flew off and ate a kid or something, or roasted a kid alive, So yeah, now she doesn't give a shit. She'll just roast a whole city full of innocent kids without breaking a sweat, without even, just like that, not even bothering. She doesn't even care. She has no morals anymore. Jon, she's in love with Jon, but that's about it. She only cares for Jon. She doesn't care about innocent people or anything anymore, It doesn't make sense. The whole season hasn't made any sense, I can understand them wanting to change things and not make it obvious, but you've got to make it believable. And it's like people are like, oh, it's fantasy, it doesn't have to. Yeah, but the characters not all characters change completely. You can have characters change gradually over time, and yeah, some of them might snap, but it's got to be within the context of 8 seasons of the show, of 8 years, 9 years, however long it is. You can't just throw us these terrible, terrible things, and they've sold out our best characters for some cheap showdowns and some cheap one-liners and some bad twists that nobody wants. And it doesn't really make any sense. So the last episode isn't gonna save anyone. He's not gonna bring anything new. It's not gonna... Well, the new thing is, can they get any worse? They've been 3 episodes that have been really, really tough. This one was actually painful to watch. The other ones were bad and hard to watch, but this was really physically painful, emotionally stressful to watch. How stupid it is, and how bad that she just does this, and it's but without any good reason for it. You say they killed Jon or something, that would be a good reason for her to just burn the whole city. She could be like, you killed the love of my life, blah 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 blah. But yeah, maybe that's one idea. Maybe I can think of some other things later to talk about this. But this is just my raw reaction from watching it today. So I hope you weren't too distressed by watching this about how I have a heart attack about how bad it was. So peace out.